Welcome back to the Puck Hockey League. Our apologies from our end. We had some major technical difficulties here, resulted in the stream crashing, but we are back now.
We are back.
Yeah, we are in the second period of this game between the Halifax Hooks and the Calabasas Camel Crushers, and luckily for everyone, in the stands and watching at home, you didn't miss a whole lot. We're still 0-0, we're still tied, so still have plenty of action to get to tonight.
0-0. These two teams playing a really tight contest right now. The Hooks had a really good chance a couple minutes ago, a little tic-tac-toe pass, but the goalie said no.
Yeah, John D. net for Calabasas. He is as good as anyone in the cage. Relied upon a lot as Owl tries to go low, gets it up to Bubbles. It is Bubba, my apologies. Owl back up the point to Dolphin. Goes Throdano. He chucks it to Jabba. Jabba looking for the chip play. Batted.
Ooh, dangerous
Trev
chance.
Just missed. Beautiful, very creative play out of Calabasas here as we go down.
Look out!
Oh, with the chance, couldn't find the net, couldn't find the shot.
Well, chances back and forth for both teams. We had the Camel Crushers trying to put on their best Echo impression with the tip-in, but it was a little too low. And then the other chance for the Hooks. Speaking of which,
good opportunity there from Bubba right in John's face, but John D is up to the occasion on that chance. Bubba turning to the corner, fires it to the middle. Dolphin looking to go back the way John came, wrap around into his own pockets and just doesn't go in. Bubba spinning around like a pirouette, and he can't find the back of the net. It's chaos in front of John, but he is cool as a cucumber.
got to be careful there. Fear the Calabasas a lot of, giving them a little too much space there in the slot. Mike Thordano looking like he's looking for a hot dog or something. So a couple of dangerous chances for the Hooks.
Yeah, good pressure being applied by the Halifax Hooks right now. Trev gonna look to reverse some of it. Getting around Bojar on the blue line, but only with the puck. He was stopped with the body check. Jabba back now for the Camel Crushers. Passed over to Trev. He's gonna take it from his own goal line and see what he can do on the rush. Has a couple options. Gonna look to use one of them. Nice back pass to Glenski, but Bubba there to pick it off. Pass through, picked off by Trev, right back to him. And the breakout does not work from Calabasas there. Bojar's into Bubba. Look for the pass to Dolphin. Goes to Owl. Shot. Tip.
Ooh.
John, no! Just wide. Another shot. Again, it's just wide. And John getting away with one there as that puck trickled by him.
Dangerous chance there. Great eyes by Owl. Steps up from the point, and that is a dangerous shot. Nearly takes an awkward bounce into the back of the net.
There are not that many defenders who I would say are better at Owl at reading when to get involved in the offense is Dolphin trying to create some of his own from the blue line. Checked by Glenski. A great body check there. Trev putting pressure on Owl. Shot all the way back and a low 2-on-1 for the Hooks. Bubba, back pass, gets through everyone. Trev picks it up at the blue line. He'll break through. 1-on-1.
Look out here.
Going backwards. Gets beat.
Oh, what a move.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? What a move.
And a harsh lesson learned by Bojar. You can't skate backwards against Trev. It just does not work.
Totally filthy move. That is tough for the defender to, in that position, kind of going backwards, a little flat-footed, as you said. Dang, I mean, that's rough. And a great start for the Camel Crushers.
The way that play was, Bojar got caught on the back end of his rotation, so he's kind of stuck in a spot where he can't turn and charge Trev because he's just going to get beat there. But he can't just stay still where he is because then, well, you just saw it. He gets beat eventually. Not a good spot for Bo to be in. I don't really think it's any fault of his own there, aside from turning backwards, but that is what it is. Trev is going to bury those chances.
Yeah, great end to the first period, or excuse me, the second period for the Camel Crushers after kind of a rough start to that period. They gave away a lot of chances, but a nice recovery and a nice statement to start the third period.
We were talking in the pregame show about Owl's leadership abilities. I think this is where it really has to shine. You know,
This
you're
is one of
down
those
in the
moments.
third. There it is!
Oh!
Crossbar! Right as we mentioned it, Dolphin with a great pass. They're going to look for the same play, and it almost works out. Great shot by Owl, and it hits the bar, but that's just a little bit of momentum back in the pockets of the Hooks here. As Owl looks to show up and show out. Beautiful pass, cross ice to Glenski, back to Jabba. He picks it up in the slot, spin shot, pass to Glenski, saved by Crowbar.
Great save by Crowbar there to stand on his head after the puck was going all sorts of directions in the slot there.
Yeah, a lot of moving pieces there for sure. A bit of a broken play, and Crowbar was able to make the save. John with an easy one of his own, batting it to the corner. Owl far side, good positioning by Glenski there. Blocking off Bojar completely, and he's still hounding him. Calabas is kind of like, all right, you guys come to us. You got to beat our defense. We don't have to do anything. We got the lead.
Yeah, very much so. And, you know, who knows where the score can go when you have that kind of mindset. It is only 1-0. These two teams having very strong defense, but a couple of, you know, surprisingly, a couple of defensive lapses by both teams so far. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, you can tell that Camel Crushers are looking to take that out of their game here late.
Yeah.
Good block into the air by Glenski. Dolphin has the puck down low, moving to the corner, pass out in front. Great stick by John to get a piece of that one on the pass to Bubba. Still a threat at the hash marks. Dolphin looking for another chip play, perhaps. Goes around, wrap chance, and Bubba's there to play cleanup.
Wow, what a smart play by Bubba there. Delfinia down low, puts it to center, and that's just the right play to make there. That's textbook hockey.
Honestly, like the first time we saw Dolph get almost an identical chance to that about 10 seconds before, and John was able to save it. He makes it look like he's going to try that same play again, and then just goes far side. No one's there to cover it. John couldn't get across because he was out of boost, and we have a 1-1 hockey game, and really entertaining now is, you know, we saw Calabasas get a breakaway.
Look out!
Great save by Crowbar, jumping out on Trev
man.
with confidence on this man.
That's why Crowbar is the GOAT right there. Great play. You got to be confident to do that as a goalie and succeed, and he shows us exactly that.
He saw the outcome last time Trev had the puck in the slot. He was like, absolutely not. I don't want to deal with it. Don't want to make a save. We're just going to play some defense of our own. Bit of chaos on the blue line of the Camel Crushers. Bubba will pick it up. Pass to the middle. Bojar couldn't find it.
Look out.
Now he has it. Little bit of a broken play there from Bo. He's set up in front. Owl looking for another wrap. Far side. It hit Throdano's stick and just went wide. Bubba tries to chip it. Owl coming in. Tipped by Bubba. Bubba he hasn't moved from that slot, and he's getting so many chances.
Hooks are pushing for the go-ahead goal here. They're starting to exploit the Camel Crushers down low. They're leaving a lot of ice available. Your goalie's kind of out to dry there. Good save by John there. Speaking of which, we can see Jabba creeping up just a little bit on these plays. He's trying to find a gap, trying to force a mistake. Glenski cuts through, but he gets a little bit screwed over by the ricochet there off of Owl's stick. Trev beats two. Good stick lift by Owl again. Pushes it up to Bojar. They're going to look for an option here on the 2-on-1. Bojar across. Nice pass.
Oh,
did you see that? Oh, my goodness. What a play. The pass a little too slow, and look at Delphin tries to put it off the back of John, and Owl's there to clean it up. What a play, and a 2-1 lead for the Hooks.
I'll tell you what, we were talking. Owl knows when to get involved. He is always in the right spot on the offensive side, and that's such a risky play because you got all three guys down low, but he knows he can take it. He knows he can find that goal. And the Hooks looking for one more. John makes the save.
Great save by John. That is a must save with 37 seconds to go. I got to go back to I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. Delphnia for a second there. That was a really smart, nifty play to try and bank it off the pads of John from behind.
Off the post from Trev. He tries to bat out of the air. 20 seconds now. The pressure's on the Camel Crushers. Long
Look
shot.
out.
Off the head of Crowbar. Good save. Goes
He was ready, though.
Corner. He was very ready. 10 seconds. Off his stick. Good play by Dolphin to get to that one. Fires it out 5 seconds. Dordano, it's got to be on net. But there's too many sticks in the way. One more shot. And what a hit by the side of the net to finish that game off.
Yeah, what?
Holy.
Well, what a performance. What a recovery by the Hooks there. Down 1-0. Big response by them. And, we kind of called it with Owl. He's the guy that had to step up. Not necessarily step up, but be the leader. Be the captain of the team and lead them to victory. And he, also with Delphina, absolutely did that.
Yeah, big play by Dolph behind the net for the tying goal, and just a bit of chaos, bit of kind of forced chaos, I would say. I like that term for it, because it's not a crutch for them, but they're using it to their advantage, where they can kind of force mistakes out of Calabasas and benefit from them. And if you're a defenseman, Log, I'll leave this question to you. If you're a defenseman, if you're
not much of one,
if you're,
but I'll try to answer
here. Like, how do you try and, I guess, slow this game down and take some of the unpredictability out of this?
Well, this is going to be a pug accurate answer. I can't speak for Division 1 players, but first of all, start getting physical. Start laying the body up against the boards and, more importantly, push them off to the side. Don't let them in the slot there or down low. And just up your awareness as a defender too. Man-for-man hockey, and they're not going to have very many chances to score.
Yeah, we mentioned that Bubba is pretty much stationary in the slot. Anytime there's a Hooks possession.
Yeah.
He is ripe to be absolutely knocked over. In the slot. So I will say that's about the most log answer that you could have given. Just hit the guy.
Pretty much.
But I love it.
It can be effective. We'll see. I mean, these players, one thing I know playing against some of the best players is they're not just good puck handlers or, puck seers. They're great at avoiding getting hit. It's pretty nasty. Mm-hmm. Like, some people are easy to hit and some aren't. And all of these players, I can promise you, are very, very slippery. So, the Camel Crushers didn't play a bad game per se. They just got they kind of lost their edge a little bit in the end and got a little messy. I think they just need to tighten up their play defensively a bit.
Yeah, I think the pressure honestly got to them.
Yeah.
And not in a mental way per se, but just the constant chances for the Hooks. The constant,
they were coming on hard at the end.
Yeah, the different looks that they were throwing on them. It just became, okay, there's too much for us to be able to manage anymore, and eventually a couple breakdowns happened, and 2 goals, that's enough in this game for the Hooks.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a game of inches, especially in this division where it's super high skill, and as I said, everyone's super slippery. A game of inches, it's going to be 1 goal, maybe 2 in a contest like this where these teams, really similar in the standings as well. What do you think for game 2? Who's going to take it?
I like the Hooks' chances. They are looking very good, and I feel like Calabasas may be relying, not really by choice, I would say, just because of that pressure that we mentioned, but they are relying a lot on those breakaways for Trev and finding gaps. And I trust Owl and Dolph on defense to be able to manage those gaps precisely. I know that Trev is an incredibly skilled player, but if they tighten up just a little bit defensively, I think they get out of this with a win.
Yeah, I think it could go either way here. I think if the Hooks just keep playing their game, keep riding with their captain, he's displayed great leadership so far, especially in the end of that game, coming in huge for the team. They keep riding him, they're going to ride to the win. But for Calabasas, I mean, if they change their game up a bit, play a little more defensively, maybe a little more physical, I could see them possibly winning this game too, maybe in overtime.
I like the prediction. So we're set here. We know what we think's going to happen, but what do the players make happen? Owl with an early shot off the side of the net. Bojar and Jabba in a race for it. Bojar wins it. Down low to Bubba. No one's back to cover him. It'll be a little bit scrambly from the defense here early from Calabasas, but good play by Trev in the corner to finish that one up. Up to Jabba. Again, Jabba stripped at the blue line, and it's back. Another opportunity for a breakout here from Calabasas. Trev coming up through the blue line. It's got options on 3-on-2. Kind of flubbed the pass. Glenski turns around for it, gets it low.
Nice keeping.
Yeah, good chance, an opportunity to put some pressure on if Trev can find this puck. He is slippery in the corners. He's very good at battling for pucks down low.
Oh, look out, though.
There's a bump from the defense. He tries to find Bojar, but Bojar thought he was taking the shot. Bojar turning now. Has options. Good toe drag. Keeps that puck for an extra second or two before it's finally cleared out by Owl. Good possession here from the Hooks. A couple good looks on the net.
Well, that is, another defensive breakdown for the Camel Crushers. They got to tighten that up. Number 44 is the last guy you want to put with all that space there.
Absolutely. Nice chance by Glenski. And a back pass, ill-advised from Bojar. Will be cleaned up by Crowbar. Consummate professional in the net. Bojar tries to cut in on Throwdano. It's around the net now. Trev has it. Cuts in. Has Dolphin beat. He goes back for seconds, and Dolphin punishes him for it. Fired all the way down the ice. John out of his crease to play it. Good fake play there. Jabba just wasn't ready for it. Dolphin will take control. Dumped down. Mike Thordano picks it up. I feel like every time I say Mike's name, I'm pronouncing Thordano differently. It's bugging me a little bit.
You know what's worse? What bugs me is I always mix them up for Scott Stevens. My bad.
We got a great lineup from the 2000s in this server.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up until today, Scott Stevens, great passing play. God, with an incredible save.
Bales' team out there, what a stop.
We're talking about the past, but here's the present of puck in this lobby. Trev picking it up now, looking for his options, trying to cut in on Owl. Good boards bounce to get back, and 3 people on Trev. He really doesn't have any options there on his own. Bojar with the long shot, saved by John. Good short dash there to get a piece of it. Chipped up. Trev breaks through. Got options. Glenski on the near side. Picks it up. Tries to go back to him. I think you just got to take the shot there, Glenn.
Maybe he was thinking about it, but he kind of landed in a funny spot where he had to pass, and it just doesn't work out for him.
That's a good call. Could have been awkward. We're not seeing what the players are seeing down there, so Glenski, I'm sure, did what he thought was right, and he'll have another chance here. Yeah. Back pass to Throdano. Trying to turn up. Fires it all the way down. It'll be Dolphin to receive. Trev is there as well, and that's cleared out by Bojar. John out of his crease to play it. Right outside the trapezoid. Gonna fire it down eventually. Glenski with a great tip up to Trev, and Trev thought Bojar was going to get a piece of it and wasn't able to receive it. Dolphin to Glenski. Glenski cutting in. 20 seconds left to go in this first period, and honestly, it looks like both teams have kind of put the governs on. They're not speeding up anymore. They're very, very okay with this slow pace in game 2. Neither team wanting to give up that first goal.
Yeah, both teams have adapted to their styles of play. I think the Hooks have had just a very slight edge, though.
Mm-hmm. We're not seeing the characteristic missteps from the Hooks anymore. We're not really seeing them from Calabasas, the one team bump aside. Both teams playing very good defense. And yeah, I think both teams have found a way to clean up the parts of their games that were lacking in game 1. So now it's all about, okay, where's the balance at this point? How do we incorporate some offense into this new play style? Getting underway in period 2. Long pass down to Bojar and double coverage. Wide receiver couldn't pick that up as Bubba lays a huge hit on Chaba
Nice
behind the
hit.
play.
Very, very nice. Now
Glenski,
look at this. Maybe a little room.
nice shot on net by Glenski. He's had a couple. None of them really finding anything dangerous so far. Dolphin to the middle to Bubba. Mike Thordano comes up. It's a 2-on-1 going the other way. Here we go. This is the chance for Calabasas. Thordano to the outside, blocked by Owl. Well defended. Great positioning, taking away all the options from Thordano.
Yeah, Owl uses his stick really nicely there to take fully take away the shooting lane for Thordano.
Bojar in tight, tipped in front. John with good positioning to make that save. Owl takes it behind the net. Thordano
Dangerous chance.
is
Bubbles letting his presence be known near the blue crease.
Yeah, he's got one job on this team, and he does it so well. A nice pass there. Bojar, nice save by John.
That was an amazing pass, and what a better save by John there. Keeps his team in it.
And more chances in front. Bojar with an absolutely incredible deflection pass over the back of the net. Trev coming in off the post. Action at both sides, courtesy of the Hooks and Trev, as it goes to the far side of the Hook zone. Chaba picks it up to Glenski, looking for the passing play to Trev.
Look at this.
Gorgeous,
Oh!
tipped in front.
Oh, that tip could have been deadly. The puck took a totally different direction there. Crowbar has to react, and a great save.
Yeah, and that's the power of his positioning that he preaches so much. Able to be ready for those tip chances on net. Saw it a bit in D2 last night, I should say. And we're seeing more of it here in D1 with a little bit faster paced gameplay. It's serving him even better. Bubba to the middle. Couldn't find Owl. All he finds is Glenski. Glenski all the way down. Trev looking for the tip. Crowbar is there. It's more of a giveaway than a dump. Dono has it. Fires it up. Tip by Dolphin. Owl in the corner. Up to Dolph. Good breakout play there.
Nice.
Textbook. Right as Coach drew it up. And Bubba will try and take advantage
nice move
of
by
this.
Bubba. Or Bubbles,
Good.
excuse me.
Yeah, good fake there. Thordano has it. As that offensive chance, all for naught. Thordano trying his luck at Dolphin, but he's been shut down on that move to the backhand by both Hooks defenders now. It's up to Mike really to reach into that bag, see what he can pull. That is an amazing
Look at
pass.
this.
Bumping John in the crease was
man.
Bojar. John went into the net, but the puck didn't.
The back check came in huge there for the Camel Crushers, or else Bojar is gone.
Yeah, and that's a big difference from the first game. The breakdowns are manageable right now, you know? It's not a breakaway from the blue line. It's a breakaway right in front of John where he is more than able to handle it. I think the Camel Crushers have to be happy with how they've played in game 2.
Yeah, I think, they're starting to cover up the slot, and they're covering up the ice down low now, the Camel Crushers are. So they're forcing the Hooks to, make those breakout passes now, make some tighter plays.
Here's Trev from the corner. He's going to take two at this. Looks for the shot near side. Crowbar had it blocked. I think it hit the side of the net, though. Goes to Jabba. Off of his shoulder. Hop, skip, and a jump, and it's all the way down in the Camel Crushers' end. Is Jabba having a tough time controlling this? Picked up by Trev now. Tipped in front. John with great reaction time to whack that one away. Trev will take it up. Got Owl to beat. Bubba on his back. A low shot. Easy enough for Crowbar to handle. And Crowbar is going to be very, very happy with his defense. All these shots are easy saves for him.
Yeah, absolutely. An absolute clinic by both goalies in this contest. And the scoreboard shows it.
Yeah, this is much more of a goalie duel than the first game was. Bojar coming in. Cutting to the middle. Wide of the net. The second period, 5 seconds left. Barring a long shot, this will do it. And we're starting to open up a little bit, but more of the same in the second period. Neither team looking to make that big mistake. And honestly, if I had to bet, this game's ending 1-0.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, as I said, it's a game of inches, especially in this division. In a game like this, it could just be a lucky or unlucky, depending on what side you are, type of bounce, and the puck could be in the back of the net.
Yeah, we're at the point where, the Hooks have their win. They need a second one here, I think, for their confidence.
Yeah.
They have to be able to say that, okay, we can dominate the teams lower than us in the standings. Now we can start running at the top three teams in the league, being Bloomington, Philly, and Albany. Speaking of which, Albany and Philly are playing on the third channel right now, a big 1-versus-2 showdown. Pinks has the call there, so feel free to check that one out. Bubba cutting
Yeah,
in.
welcome in.
Pass to the middle.
Oh!
Bojar with the goal.
Commentator's curse there. I was about to welcome in Binks to the broadcast booth of doing his first game. A nice centering play to Bojar, and honestly, no chance for John. That's hard to save.
That's a perfect play from Bubba. Absolute dime. He gets the Frog T seal of approval in chat as well. Great play out of the corner, and Bubba, you know what? He can be a setup man as well. As much as he takes the role of finisher on this team, he has a hell of a pass on him. And a 1-0 lead now. Calabasas might have to revert back to some of that game one gameplay.
You wonder if it's going to light a fire under their bellies. You know, they lose both these games in regulation, let's say. They're going to be kind of towards the basement here, so they got to get moving. I could see them coming back here.
This is a big game. We're past the midway point of the season. The Hooks currently occupy the 4th spot in the standings. Big hit by Glenski, opening up some
Huge
space.
hit. Look at this.
Oh, but Glenski went down.
They're making
as well.
snow angels.
Trev didn't know that Glenski went down there. He tried to give him a pass. Absolutely the right play, just not the right time, as Glenski wasn't there to receive it.
Well, I know we have a Mike Thordano and a Scott Stevens. I didn't know we had a John Scott in the league too. They were both just down making snow angels or something.
Oh, I mean, we have a Scott Stevens and a Paul Correa, and anyone who knows that NHL final, that was a legendary moment.
Rough, yeah.
As Trev comes in, looking for options, tries to cut to the middle, but Crowbar out of his crease, able to block that option off. Mike Thordano has it, spinning, shooting. Bubba whacks it out of the air. I thought he was going to let that go all the way, but he decides to play cutoff man. Trev going to pressure Dolphin behind the net, who has the puck. Coming around his net, chips it up to Bubba. Bubba to the middle, leaves it for Owl. Owl coming in, a great fake. Oh, He tries to get a little bit fancy with it. Nice pass to the back door. Bubba looking to salvage that play. Another pass. Bubba is on a tear right now with these passes.
And you know who else is on a tear is John. Look out, the flipper. Oh, I jinxed him. Come on. That was a disgusting play.
Owl with the pinched pass. Bubba again. He chips it. He beats Glenward to that dunk play. And John, it's unfortunate. He's doing the right thing. He's trying to turn for that puck and just gets a piece of it with his stick. And with 2 minutes left here, not a lot of offense being shown from Calabasas in this second game. The Mishi attempt almost changed that. Trev now looking in the corner, but aside from that recent chance by Glenski, the opportunities are few and far between for the Camel Crushers, and you got to think, if you're the Hooks, time to park the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Close this game out. If you're Calabasas, you got to get one here. And look out.
You do. Minute 40, you think probably a minute to score both of these goals if they can. So time is not on their side. Bojar chips to Bubba.
I haven't seen a goalie pull yet in PHL. They can do it. Am I correct?
I know
you can see a goalie pull. I think you can. You don't know?
somehow I'm the wrong person to ask there. I shouldn't be. I should know that. But I know they introduced rules with substitutions mid-game, and I believe that was included. Definitely an option if Calabasas wants to exploit it. Nothing there. Jabba flipping it towards the middle. 1 minute left.
Nearly a nasty tic-tac-toe play.
Yeah, very nice job. And the Hooks are styling and profiling, looking like Ric Flair on the ice here. Jabba flips it. Dolphin to catch. Right back to Jabba. He's got a chance for a goal here. Shot tipped. All 4 Hooks below the dots, and it works out, giving them that defensive stop. And Bojar will take it. 1-on-1. 2-on-1 to Owl, but over his stick. Owl will go low. Bojar again with that chip. He hit that earlier, and I was amazed. It's a very, very cute, very, very impressive play to hit that with that much precision. Speaking of, Trev with the beautiful between the legs pass. Jabba off the post. Trev with the rebound. Doesn't have the angle. Crowbar makes the save. And that will do it in game 2. A full 6 points picked up by the Halifax Hooks.
Huge 6 points there. You know, credit to the Calabasas Camel Crushers. Play to the whistle, play to the end of the game. You know, they didn't give up a couple chances there to, get 1 goal, but the Hooks come out on top.
Strong showing from the Hooks.
Absolutely.
They had most of the pressure in that game. They had most of the chances, and the few chances that Calabasas did get, Crowbar and the defense were there to stop him. Great game. I want to highlight just how well Dolphin and Owl played on the defensive side of the puck. There were not many high-quality chances after the goal that Calabasas scored in that first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Close contest, but the Hooks just had the edge the whole time. Just barely, just enough. They were getting more chances. They were really taking advantage of, defensive mistakes by the Calabasas Camel Crushers all around.
Yeah, strong performance from them, but that will do it for us tonight on PHL 2. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but we did get to see all of the action between the Camel Crushers and the Hooks tonight. From us here in the booth, I'm Fly, joined by Log, and we wish you all a very, very good night.